Shit, yeah! Woo! Blowing out your speakers, coming into you live.
Nice and hot.
Yep.
Brandon
Oh,
Chalmers,
Lordy.
we
Yep.
it's been a while, but there has been camera updates.
Oh shit, really?
So the new company that has been the imaging division of Olympus,
Got you. The phoenix that has
the
risen
Phoenix
from the burnt, charred husk that was Olympus.
Yeah.
Spread its flaming wings, and what is it called now?
I think so. The company that bought the interest is JIP, which is
Okay.
a JIP. But they were responsible
Yeah.
for the Vio purchase. But they formed a new company. It's called OMD or OM Imaging or something like that. Whatever your camera is, like it's an OMD.
No, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So my camera is an OM-D.
Yeah.
It would make sense that they're called OMD.
Yeah.
I assume it's like Olympus Media Digital or some shit like that, or whatever the fuck it was standing for, or whatever.
Yeah, they can't use the Olympus name, but they can use the OMD
That's okay.
moniker.
All right.
They put out a press release. They have plans on continuing developing the bodies,
Sure.
and high-end lenses and things like that. No word if they're going to continue the pen line, the pen line, which is my favorite of the Olympus. It's like the more budget-friendly one, but it's the smaller body. It's really cute little rangefinder style. But yeah, I mean, Olympus OMD is going to be where it's at, I guess.
You hear that, buddy?
Yeah.
We're gonna end up having support after all.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Hug.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So your
Now,
camera
news
isn't
is
dead.
done.
Your system isn't dead. Your camera isn't dead.
Yet. Like all technology, including Apple, your system isn't dead yet. Which, by the way, I was watching an old episode of Top Gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they showed, I think it was the Koenigsegg, which is like a Swedish supercar. And I assume that the way that they would solve this is just once Apple upgraded its phones, they would just grab a new phone, modify the interior of the thing under warranty, and they would just replace it. Because once you spend like $500,000 on a car, like what's the, I don't know, $1,100 for the mount difference?
Yeah.
But the idea was that they used your iPhone as a hub to like start the car and everything. And all I could think is, did no one think like, hey, there's no way Apple will ever change their system? And like, what happens 20 years from now?
Yeah.
Like, do they just give up and go, fine, we just wired a fucking button? Like we just wired a fucking button.
That seems
right,
really,
and like,
really dumb. Well, I guess they didn't expect
but
that car
like,
to last more than like
right, but like assuming
3 years.
that like, I don't know, 2000, I don't know when the fuck they switch over to Lightning cable. Let's say 2009.
Yeah.
They were like, this is one of the first cars that you can use your phone to start. And you're like, fuck yeah. Because like the iPhone like had a nested cradle that like sat in the dash. Right.
Nice.
And it got all pretty in there, which meant you were rich enough that you didn't need an iPhone case. Because it wouldn't have fit otherwise.
I bet that makes the HUD display, like you could do maps a lot easier if it's right there in your dash.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
So I kind of like that.
That's kind of rad, but also like you're spending $500,000 on a car and your screen is your iPhone. And at the time, your iPhone really wasn't that big.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, right. And that's what I'm saying. They didn't rotate that.
Yeah.
So you're not getting some panoramic view. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So like you go plugging it in and like you mount it into the dash with your no case because you live dangerously because you're a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
And then you plug that thing in and like there's no key or anything. You got your phone. So there's no chance of anyone stealing your car. None.
Yeah, no chance. None.
Right. Yeah. Like we here at Koenigsegg, the Swedish supercar specialists that have been around for a hot minute, like a cup of coffee ain't even cool yet.
Yeah.
Have definitely developed software that cannot be hacked. So there's definitely no chance that anyone could walk up, clone your phone, and then walk away with your supercar. That couldn't happen.
Yeah. Well, I guess at that price range, you're changing cars every year. So they didn't expect it to last.
I guess. I mean, maybe you're right, but like, I feel like when you get a super, like, this is the weird thing where I am, where like, I was casually looking at new cars, and a lot of new cars have navigation systems in it, and I can't bring myself to buy one because I'm like, why? It's going to be obsolete in 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pay for the external service. And why would I do that? Like, I already have a phone plan that has unlimited data. So I have ways. So reasonably, what I need is something that is functional. So now I'm like, one, do I need a new car? And where I landed was, no, not really. But two, it was like, maybe I won't end up buying a new car after all. Like, there's a very real feeling. If you follow me on Instagram, I definitely came across a goddamned gem, a like 1993 Mini Cooper from Japan. And it's rad.
Wow.
Yeah, and not like the BMW Mini Coopers where they're like way super bloated. No. Like the old school, like 4-cylinder. And the thing was like red with a white roof and like red interior, and everything was gorgeous. And the seats were like checker print, and it was a stick. And I was like, fuck, I want that.
That's gorgeous.
And I got really upset because it's less than what I paid for my new car, because I could get one of my dream cars for like 11 grand. And the thing is, genuinely inspected and sitting on a lot in Virginia right now.
Oh, man.
Right. So like, I can literally drive an hour and a half and come home with my dream car. And that is fucking tough.
Yeah.
Because there's part of my brain that's like, what happens if something breaks? And it's like, well, what happens when something breaks with your fucking Focus? And it's like, well, if something breaks with your Focus, you take it down the street and you take it to a regular repair shop. You have to either repair it yourself and get the parts from this dealership in Virginia, or take it to Virginia and pay their mechanics who specialize in Japanese vehicles, which happen to come from England, weirdly enough, in this case, to repair them for you. So therefore my car is going to be super down. So I'm like, I'm becoming like, I'm accepting the idea that this is not an everyday vehicle.
Yeah.
Shame, because I have been for a very long time, I've been debating a like Suzuki K truck, which for those of us who don't understand, K cars are a size clarification, or sorry, size classification, blah, 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 in Japan, where they are 3 cylinders, if memory serves, and no more than 660 cc. So therefore, none of them have like even 100 horsepower.
Yeah.
But they've got these rad little pickup trucks that have like foldable sides on the side of it. And they're like little mini things, and they run forever, and they're rad, and they're all like sticks, and they all come in like stark white. So there was a genuine thought of like, okay, so I can get these things like all day for like 8 grand, right? Inspected, certified, whole 9, rad, okay. I schedule the thing as a weekend vehicle, so I pay way less on insurance. And the first thing I do is take it right down to you, hand you a ton of Sharpies, or just ink and a brush, and just let you fucking power through the thing.
Yeah.
And then I take it immediately and get it clear coated. Because I want, like, if I'm gonna have a ridiculous thing, it's going to be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that sounds
you can be the guy with the rad little Japanese truck, but the guy with the rad little Japanese truck that has the custom paint job, totally separate thing. Like,
oh yeah,
you are the love of car nerds, like guys you don't want to hang out with. Are like, dude, that's kind of rad. Like, guys with pins in their hats who drive Corvettes are like, that's not really my thing, but I kind of like that. And like, I want that. Just a little bit, I want that.
God, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, I know. Like, it's not a question of like, if I give you a panic phone call on a Thursday, like, Jamie, I need to leave a car in your driveway. And I know it sounds crazy, but
we're doing it. We're doing
it. Right. I don't care what you do. But fucking lay this thing out. Like, I need to be able to drive it around. So like, no giant cocks or vaginas, but everything else, fucking banana pants.
It'll be tastefully hidden somewhere.
I'm totally good with that. Like, if it can be on the roof where nobody will see it.
Yeah, except
like,
real tall people.
Right, yeah, like either tall people or like state troopers go buzzing by. They're like, that is a gigantic clit. That is a huge clit on the bottom. Oh, the tiny truck has a huge clit.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, because really that's what I want to be the catchphrase of my vehicle.
That's a giant clit.
That is a tiny truck with a huge clit.
I just want to go around painting $8,000 cars now. This sounds amazing.
I ever win the lottery, that's going to be my art installation for you.
Yeah.
It's just a series of $8,000 vehicles that I can find in varying degrees of excitement. And just let you just fucking go bananas.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
See, Jamie, then we pick our favorites. We drive them all the time, and everything else ends up in a Jamie Noguchi special edition double elimination demolition derby where you and I and a bunch of our friends get to drive these things, your works of art, into each other and crash them. Then we do a photo shoot of your art mangled into your own art.
God, that would be fucking nuts. Oh, I love that.
This is why someone should give me money.
Yeah.
I would be a proper rich person. Everybody else is like, I'm going to go to the Bahamas and I'm going to swim with sea turtles. No. Fuck that, Denise. We're doing some cool shit. Some cool shit.
Cool shit. All right, Brandon Chalmers, hit us with the intro.
Sure. Long ago, in the dawn of time, there was but a glimmer in our eye of what could be. It wasn't until the dawn of the new millennium that Al Gore brought us a series of tubes that we like to call the internet. Now, many years later, thanks to the internet, you find yourselves here on the loving, wishful shores of the fucking Doomcast, part of the Hard Knock Media podcasting network. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brandon, I walk upon these shores and I see the sun rise and it washes over me with its warmth. That is very similar to some of the podcasts that you'll hear on the Hard Knock Media podcasting network. Now, when you say hard knock, I mean NOC, as in Nerds of Color. A voice not usually heard and definitely needs to be respected. So do yourself a favor. Once you get done listening to my white ass, go ahead and head over to the Hard Knock Media Podcasting Network and check out some of the other fine shows where they'll talk about rad things like Batman and food and Batman and social issues and Batman.
And Batman. A lot of Batman.
Yeah.
Mostly Batman.
Yep. But yeah, you can find us and other shows courtesy of the Hard Knock Media Podcasting Network. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jamie Noguchi. How can you support the Hard Knock Media Podcasting Network? Well, you can go ahead and email every single possible vendor you can think of. And you can ask the question, why is there not a code? I want to click the top microphone up in the top right-hand corner of your website. And I want to buy, I don't know, MeUndies, AdamandEve.com.
Yep.
I don't know. Farmers Only. Like, I feel like we can reach that market. I know a bit. I get up every morning at 4:30. I understand the farmer's plight. I get this. I've tilled soil. I've eaten a carrot. I understand what it's like. I get farmers. I know. Look at me. I'm wearing plaid right now.
It's the farmer's unofficial uniform.
This is what I do, Jamie.
Yeah.
I am white, bearded, and plaid. If I am not 2 steps away from being a farmer, I don't know what the fuck a farmer is.
Nice.
I definitely don't know what Adele is, but we can get there soon enough.
Nice. All right. Well, I mean, that's it. It feels good to be back on the horse.
God damn, it does. I am fucking tired. Boy.
So every week I try to find stories that are somewhat uplifting-ish and not sucky. So a couple weeks ago, and this is old news by now, but there was a guy, his truck broke down, but he still had to go to work. So he got on his skateboard, grabbed himself a giant jug of ocean spray.
Oh, okay.
Took a video of himself on the TikToks because his kids say, Dad, you should have a TikTok. So he's skating down the highway with his phone, with his cranberry juice, singing some Fleetwood motherfucking Mac. And this went everywhere. People loved it. It hit at the right moment. It was a feel good. Mick Fleetwood, founder of Fleetwood Mac, got on the TikToks, responded. Stevie Nicks got on the TikToks, responded. Like the members of Fleetwood Mac got on and, you know, cranking that cranberry juice. CEO of Ocean Spray saw this, did his own version, did everyone better, found the guy, gave the guy a truck.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
With a year's supply of Ocean Spray cranberry juice in the back. So he no longer had to take a skateboard to work because his truck was broke ass as shit.
Right.
So that does that. I don't know if it was a setup or not, but that was a feel good that I think everybody needed.
I mean, if you think about it, because I don't think they gave him a new truck. I think they gave him like a used Nissan or something like that. But it had like the Ocean Spray logo on the side of it. And like,
nice.
I gotta believe that if Ocean Spray sees what's going viral and they go to cut their own, somebody looks at somebody else and goes, "Hey, do we have like 15 grand to spend on this? Because we can seriously do this." Right. Because like reasonably, they can spend 15 grand on a commercial easily. Like I imagine they can spend easily a couple $100,000 filling a cranberry bog to have those two white guys try and deliver puns. Like I gotta believe filling a cranberry bog ain't fucking cheap. Like just water alone.
Yeah.
So if you got this guy basically being like, "Yo, Ocean Spray is fucking rad, and you should be drinking cranberry juice," and he's jamming with this thing, like, why not?
Yeah,
right, I was gonna say, I'm still seeing them now. So
yeah, it was great. It made everybody feel good in a moment where everybody needed a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it worked, and I hope that truck lasts, because nothing worse than getting a truck and it like exploding like the next one.
I gotta believe that, given the fact that like if memory serves, when I checked his Twitter account, he had something like 2.1, or sorry, his Instagram account. He had something like 2.1 million followers on just Instagram. I can't imagine what TikTok followers are looking like.
Nice.
I imagine if that truck shits the bed and he starts posting about it, Ocean Spray is going to come out of the woodwork with quickness and solve this problem.
Yeah.
Because like you got to figure, like they're just going to look at this and go, "Fuck it." Because ultimately, what's the cost of getting the truck right side up versus all the bad publicity?
Oh yeah.
Like,
and like people have been going to the store to try to get themselves some Ocean Spray, and Ocean Spray has been selling out, which is amazing.
Fucking hell. Yeah, that is easily worth it. Because kids will end up buying the shit just to be able to do the challenge. Because I've seen it's like a challenge now.
Yeah. And like TikTok has been using that as advertising to say like, you know, a feel good thing. So I don't know. It was a great moment.
No, it's rad. I like when the internet randomly does something and a company, while they are definitely benefiting from it, embraces it in a very calm way of just like, "Hey, we weren't expecting this, but we'll definitely jump on board. And by the way, you shouldn't have to skate to work. Let us help you out. We're a big company." Like,
I like that.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Like that's kind of rad. Now I hope that if he works close enough, or that he lives close enough to Ocean Spray, they also gave him a job.
Ooh, that's interesting. Well,
that would be nice.
Apparently, so my dad read more about this because he's been looking for stores that are not sucky too. Right. And apparently the place where he works gave him like a leave of absence so he could try to pursue like other opportunities because of this fame.
Okay. So interesting.
I think
that's weird.
I think that's interesting. We'll see how it works out, but I don't know, man. Yeah. Cranberry guy. I
cool.
dig it.
Nah, good on Cranberry guy. Like I hope he ends up parlaying this into something real. I don't know how that works, but good on him.
Yeah, I don't either.
Good on him. Like it takes
skill.
I saw his Instagram account. He seems like a good dude. Like he seems like a good dad. I got no heat. Like just okay. Like the internet fame, especially, is very fleeting.
Work. Make it
Ironically,
work.
It's Fleetwooding. So you shouldn't have let me do that.
Did you go? Did you go to RaffleCon in Boston with us?
That is one that I missed.
Okay, so years back, there was a convention held in Boston near MIT. It was held by MIT, called RaffleCon, and they basically invited a lot of like internet celebrities. So like
Yeah.
the Charlie bit my finger guy,
Yeah, yeah,
his
yeah.
dad was there, and like some of these other
I would say I think the Chuck Testa guy was there.
Chuck Testa was there. Yeah. The guy who invented Clippy was there.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. I guess if conventions were happening, you could go to
Oh,
one of these,
100%.
maybe.
If conventions were happening and this guy was able to just like longboard past people,
Oh my
he'd
God.
get a ton of selfies.
He'd
right
be a
now.
hit in San Diego.
Oh,
Fuck.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd double park that Ocean Spray truck right in front of San Diego and just
Yeah.
longboard back and forth across the front. Everybody like, can I get a picture? I want a picture.
Do you want a story about some internet trolling? I'm kind of weary about this one.
Kind of weary about this one.
I don't know. So the Proud Boys, they have a hashtag, Proud Boys.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have quite a few of them.
And they were being
Is it we measure from the back of our asshole?
no.
Is it that we drive giant trucks to compensate for our lack of ability?
No, unfortunately,
Okay.
that would be funny as shit. But you know, the Proud Boys hashtag a couple of weeks ago was taken over by the LGBT community, posting photos of men who are out and proud. So like,
Oh, okay,
dudes kissing on each other, lesbians
Okay.
kissing on each other.
Quite literally the hashtag Proud Boys.
Proud Boys to
Okay, right on,
take
good
it
for
over
them.
with pride, and I think it frustrated them so much that they wanted to reclaim something like Leatherman, and it was just like, no, that's not another.
I am
Not so clever, these
never
these fascists.
surprised with how little like long view shithead white guys are when it comes to the internet. Like they lack the ability to take the step back and see the big picture here.
Yeah. So that was I have not checked up on the hashtag because that
Probably
is
for the
not
best.
but that is not, I don't know if they've gotten it back, but for a little bit my timeline was flooded with gay people making out with each other, and it was glorious.
Rad.
So Brandon Chalmers,
Sir.
in the 20 years that we've since I last saw you, what
Yes.
have you been geeking on?
So I have been geeking on two things. One is a tangible thing. I decided to pull the trigger and got myself a super rad keyboard.
Hot. Yes.
I ended up not doing what you did, and I ended up going on and ordering, I believe it's an RK Royal keyboard.
Yeah,
It's actually a Bluetooth keyboard.
Nice.
So I wanted to be able to move things around on my desk and what have you. It's a lot heavier than I expected. It has multiple light function capabilities, but it also has them super hot blue clicky keys. So I am making all sorts of ruckus over here. Yeah, it's good stuff. So I've been tapping away at that. And then as far as what has been keeping me going, I have had a bit of a rough time with a listen. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I have been listening to a podcast recently called 5 to 4. And I don't know if you understand what that references to.
Is that the Supreme Court?
It is the Supreme Court.
Oh boy.
What it is it basically breaks down rulings from the Supreme Court, and essentially kind of their whole premise is, you know, we break down the rulings and tell you why the Supreme Court sucks. And I expected a lot of this to be skewed very Republican hate, and it has. Like, don't get me wrong, if you are a staunch Republican, it will be a difficult listen to hear. They are very excited that Antonin Scalia is no longer with us. So like there is no apology given there. But
yeah,
the episode I listened to today that was very difficult to hear is the one on qualified immunity.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
And for those of us who
Christ.
aren't following along, qualified immunity is essentially the carte blanche that we give police for some of their behavior. The one that they were talking about right before I stopped, there's about 7 minutes left on this episode. They were talking about a case that will hopefully be heard, where a gentleman in Ferguson, right before everything popped off in Ferguson a few years ago, a homeless man essentially gets stopped by the police. He is bipolar, I believe. He is stopped by police for just walking around the street. Police ask him, do you have a weapon? He asks, what is a weapon? They said a knife. He said, I have a thing. So the police immediately draw down on him. He turns out he had a penknife in his sleeve. And they proceed to hog tie him, kick and beat him, and then when he stopped moving, shot him 22 times.
Jesus fuck.
And right now, the lower courts are still debating whether or not he has qualified immunity. The first court ruled that he did. The second court ruled that he didn't. But what I learned is that the majority of qualified immunity cases, to hear a case in the Supreme Court, only 4 justices need to agree that they want to hear it.
Wow.
Most qualified immunity cases only get 2 justices.
Yeah.
And of those justices, the one who recently passed is not one of them.
Yeah.
So it gave me a very hard reminder that RBG, while a champion of a lot of things, was not necessarily interested in hearing cases about police officers basically hog tying people, because very similar to the George Floyd case in Atlanta, hog tying is a real thing where multiple people have died because they bind both the arms and feet and then will lean on them and crush people to death, quote unquote, accidentally. And this is kind of a common thing, and it has not gained the national notoriety that it has recently, but basically the majority of the cases haven't been there. And ironically enough, one of the people who has in the past been willing to hear one of these is Clarence Thomas, and they still won't do it. You can still only get 2 votes.
Jesus.
And this is when they had a full court. They only needed 4. They could only get 2.
Yeah.
And it is a very difficult thing to hear when I am getting very revved up about voting and trying to keep my head up, and also trying to not be so, REM end of the world about everything that's going on. And especially with the passing of RBG, I'm doing my best to not speak ill of the dead. And I'm having a very difficult time. The more I learn about some of the decisions that have come down from RBG in the past, realizing that a lot of my understanding of RBG was a lot of just fire and interest based on RBG just being an interesting person and character and being elderly, and all of us kind of being like, holy shit, that lady's still alive. Wow.
Yeah.
She kind of tiny. And like being excited about some of the positive things, but remembering that the public likes to ignore some of the negative things. And the idea that if you found out that RBG wouldn't hear a case about people being hogtied and crushed to death for whatever reason, leads me to have a very difficult thought process as to not think like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you be willing to hear that case and make a ruling on it? And what I've learned also is that when it comes to qualified immunity, that is something that the Supreme Court had created, and that only the Supreme Court has the ability to admonish. So while there are legislative things that are happening, none of them are getting anywhere, and the Supreme Court could definitely undo this if they wanted to, and they choose not to. And that includes our more liberal justices. Yeah. Even our late ones.
Yeah.
And it's basically a reminder that our rights are being taken away from us in multiple ways. And it is very difficult to hear. So I can highly recommend it, though. If you'd like to feel more educated and understand things like the DACA program, and when Trump had his immigration policy fought out in the case of he versus Hawaii and a few other cases, they really do get into it, and they cover what was going on at the time. And they definitely jump back to things like 1925, where they talk about basically the original stop and frisk case. And they get into a lot of shit That did not happen in 1925. If somebody gets angry at me and wants to send a letter, I understand that. They
Yeah.
break down a lot of things that happen where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, the initial stop from frisk case where like a cop sees two guys supposedly casing a place, and he stops them, and they happen to have a gun, but he's got no real reason to stop them. Is he okay? What qualifies as like a reason to stop somebody? Is it just suspicion? And the Supreme Court's like,
Jesus.
got a hunch? Stop somebody. Search them hard. They fight you? Fuck them up.
Oh my God.
Right. And it has made me start to question whether, like, it has definitely given me perspective that the way police behave now is definitely a direct result of what we have tolerated based on court cases and precedent, that now even the Supreme Court won't fucking touch half of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it is very difficult to hear that, like, we like to think of the Supreme Court as a way to, like, it's our Hail Mary pass. It's our, you know, it's our Babe Ruth calling the home run kind of moment. Like, either like it's victory or death.
Yeah.
And when you realize just how fucking skewed it is and just how little chance you have, it is very sobering.
It's depressing because Congress won't do its job. So we leave it up to the Supreme Court, and you don't always want them to be in charge of that.
You definitely don't. It's not a don't always. You don't.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
Because it's not going to go the way you want.
Right. Yeah. Like, please understand, I'm like 20 episodes into this, and you want no part of this. Like, I promise you want no part of this.
Yeah. I mean, it might sound good on like on TV and stuff, like How to Get Away with Murder. They had a whole thing like where she argued a case in front of the Supreme Court, and it's like, yeah, awesome.
Right.
But you don't want it to go that way.
Right, but like,
you want Congress to do its job.
Right. But like, when you hear about border agents shooting kids on the other side of the border because supposedly they threw rocks at them, because somehow that's going to end up killing a guy with an AK-47. Now, what I really think is the problem is that a guy with an AK-47, or sorry, maybe it's an AR-15, I apologize, was riding a bicycle on the border. And I think if you give anybody an assault rifle on a bike, bad shit's bound to happen. Can we not get an $8,000 used car for this guy and put some lights on it? Yeah. Like, can we not?
Yeah.
Maybe the same 8,000. You know what, Jamie? That's what we'll do. I'll get
replace
dumb rich.
I'll buy
a
AR-15s.
bunch of $8,000 cars.
Yeah.
I'll have you decorate all of them. Then we donate all of them to ICE, and we get rid of all of the bicycles that ICE has, and watch the death count plummet.
Yeah.
Because no one is madder than an angry white guy applying suntan lotion, riding a bike with a gun.
Well, I'm so fucking hot. Jesus
Christ.
Right,
because
you, bang.
About it. You and I both know everybody at the station's like, hey, Larry, how's that 10 speed? And you're like, it's an 18 speed, Chuck. Fuck. Like, God. And then he applies zinc to his nose, and then with a gun, an assault rifle strapped to his back, he goes and patrols the fucking border on his fucking bike. I'm genuinely surprised more people aren't dead. But by the way, the Supreme Court wouldn't even hear the civil case that these people who lost their child get to sue for damages.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, they claim that they don't want to get into foreign policy, as if ruling that somebody can shoot someone over the border and get away with it isn't affecting foreign policy. Fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, yeah. If you would like to equal parts try and not just absolutely walk off a pier, but also feel way more educated about something that I genuinely, going into it, really felt a bit of like pomp and circumstance about. Because like, I always had held the Supreme Court in much higher regard, where I was like, no. These are people who really had to work at it. Like, there are a couple fluke things, you know, your Kavanaughs, but like Kavanaugh at least had to make it through a couple levels of court. I know Trump appointed him, whatever, but like, dude, at least like he's making an effort. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I want no part of Trump's new nominee now. Like, but
Amy,
Whatever.
what's her face? Amy, not gonna answer any goddamn question.
Amy, I don't use fucking conditioner, which is a weird thing to be goddamn like shitty about, but goddamn, like, lady, you're on national TV, cut that frizz down. Like, is Pantene not filling her fucking Twitter feed? Like, bitch, we will send you a bottle. Like, it is not that hard.
That's DS9 Kira Nerys hair. It's just real bad.
Right. Like, the only thing I'm convinced of is that, like, somebody from Garnier Fructis was like, we should send that bitch a bottle. And somebody else was like, I don't want to get anywhere near that. Let her have split ends. Fuck it. Let her have split ends.
All the shampoo companies was like, mm-mm.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. Because I'd like to assume every shampoo company that would step in and do this is just like, no,
you're on your own, girl.
Yeah. No. Fuck your split ends. Like, just I want no part of that.
Yeah.
And I know I'm being a dick picking on the soon to be, I assume, Justice, which fucking hurts my heart. But I refuse to on camera get into a ton of things that the Justice is about, because I just don't need that kind of heat. But bitch has got split ends, and I got no problem calling her out about that.
Yeah. Get your shit tight.
Yeah, like, seriously, moisturize. It's not that hard. It is. Look at these luscious locks. It's not that hard. I work at a fucking roofing company. Like, get it together. I'm a goddamn roofer, and I have better hair. Come on.
Yeah. She did not bring it.
Like, dress for the job you want, not the split ends you got. I can't believe that bitch had a pad in front of her and didn't even write anything down. How are you answering these questions? What's on the pad in front of you? It says United States Congress on it. It doesn't really have anything else. Like, fuck how? Notes, show your work notes. Like, if you're not meeting the bare minimum requirement of a 9th grade fucking Algebra 2 class, you do not belong there.
K-Dog brought his journals to class. You can't be bothered to, like, scritchy scratch?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Drunk ass, I like beer, crying bitch ass K-Dog brought his fucking home journals.
A guy who has definitely butt chugged a Coors Light brought fucking notes. That is your bar.
Boofman McGee brought his shit.
Right.
He opened his live journal.
Yeah, a guy who is shotgun a natural light brought notes, and you can't even be bothered because I guess you're guided by God.
Motherfucker on the grew up on the hard ass streets of North Bethesda brought his fucking notebook.
Like, Jamie Noguchi, I have listened to fucking Christmas Shoes. If I know anything, Jesus is catty as fuck about footwear, and if you think she's getting into the kingdom of heaven with that hair,
hell no.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
I need a bottle of conditioner for my mama before she makes Jesus.
God damn, like, is right. Like, she's got like 14 kids. Can one of them not head to a fucking Walgreens and pay for a bottle of Pantene Pro V with some pennies? Can we not? Can New Song, which is the worst band name ever, not write the fucking ballad about this bitch's split ends and how Jesus wants her to be on the court so that she can get rid of a woman's right to choose and God knows whatever the fuck else to send us into a goddamn Stone Age where the last time we fucking read a book was when it was written by somebody who apparently hears voices, even though today that would definitely be a person with schizophrenia. But back then, it's just God. Remember how I said I wasn't going to get into this? Turns out I'm really bad at this.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck that hoe.
Anyway, Jamie, what's the email address if you want to send letters to the podcast?
It is fuck that hoe.
No, hang on. I want the real one. It's
info at fuckingdoitcast.com.
Yeah, if you'd like to blow me up, feel free, and I will absolutely fight you in the fucking parking lot. Like, I have no chill about this.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
My voice is going to be done by the time this is over. What time are we doing this till? Like another 20 minutes? What's the topic we're getting into?
Yeah. Oh, well, breaking news before we recorded. Breaking news. We have word that your favorite franchise and mine, the Fast and Furious series of films, will end with Fast and Furious 11.
Which one are we on now?
9 is in the can. 9 was supposed to come out, but COVID
That's
kind of
right. Yeah, but COVID happened. Right.
So there's
two more.
There's 2 more.
Right.
So
and then a series of Hobbs and Shaw movies.
I don't know about that. That first one. That first one.
Fucking look at the international numbers. I guarantee you.
Oh, did it do it?
Love that shit.
All right. Well, fuck it.
Sure.
I mean, I want to watch more.
We get more of Statham and Dwayne just throwing.
Fuck that. I want more of Mama. I want more.
Hell
yeah. With their chancla, with their fucking sandal, like ready to smack the shit out of them. Yeah. I want more Mama.
I thought you were talking about. Oh, you're talking about Rock's mom. Hell yeah. I was talking about fucking Statham's mom.
Oh, I also want more Statham's mom.
Yes.
I want the mom movie.
Can we get the two of them together? Can we get the moms together? Can we have Dwayne's mom with the flip-flop and Helen Mirren just like looking fucking tough as nails? Just being like, boys, go get him. And then just have mom be like, hold the flip-flop up. And next thing you know, like 400 Samoans and just a bunch of fucking Cockney guys in like weird, like pikey looking hats, just fucking running into things. Yeah. I assume it's a lot of guys.
Peaky Blinders and like and the fucking, Usos.
Yeah. WWE legend Rikishi and Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders, both running on opposite sides of a battlefield, just fucking sprinting at who are we going to be mad at now?
Well, they've made more Idris Elbas. They've got like more robot.
We got more Idris. Okay, cool.
They've got a upgraded form of robot man.
Fuck that. Just an army of Idris Elbas. If I've learned anything, you just make more Idris Elbas.
Yeah. Well,
and you name all of them Gerald. So this way, all you hear is right before everything pops off, you see him look at everybody and go, "Oi, Gerald." And that's all you hear is them just all 400 of them just in unison, just Gerald. And then they just run in like 300. Bang.
Oh God. That epic like Kurosawa style film where you get
I'm here for all of that. Frankly, if you want to reshoot just shot for shot 300, but all
Samoans and Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, right. Gerard Butler is now played by The Rock, and whoever the fuck that other guy who does the voiceover is played by Statham, and then all the other Samoans are all the other 300, and then just the entire army that takes him on is just nothing but Idris Elbas. It's a sea of Idris Elbas with like elephants and like weird axes for hands for no fucking reason. Yeah. Like we don't even bother reshooting the thing. We just deep fake everybody's faces. Yeah, because why shoot a new movie? Like fuck it.
And put in some color back into the film because it was like very gray.
No, let it be all stylized, right? Because like most of Vin's cars are that color anyway. So
that's true. Like, yeah.
Right. So we throw a bunch of classic cars and monster trucks in the background, and we just don't even play around with it, right? Because they can't go shoot the movies right now anyway because of the pandemic.
That's true.
Let's just use what we can. We've got a damn solid film. We just deep fake everybody. We put Letty's face on top of Gerard's wife. So we create tension in between Vin and Statham for the last movie for 11, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. So my question was, how would you end the series? We got 2 movies to play with. We bringing back Han in 9. We're bringing back Han in 9.
Right.
How do you top that in 10? And then how do you top that in 11?
Okay, so 10, I think you've got to cut, like, one of 2 things is going to happen in 10. They're going to have a throwdown, a real proper throwdown between Vin and Dwayne. Yeah. Because of everything that has happened behind the scenes.
And they got to get that out of their system.
And they got to get that.
And we need to see that.
It's got to be done. Now, the real question is, who's better at contract negotiation? Because that's going to be the person who wins this fight.
I think Dwayne has better team behind him.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Vin actually owns the rights to the film.
Oh,
so I don't think that's going to matter.
He might pull it and just
right. Just be like, you want this fucking franchise, and him be like, you want me on this fucking franchise? Like, you want to make money? You want me there? You want to fucking like stand tall? Go ahead and try and do a Fast movie without me.
So 11.
How was Fast 4?
Right.
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 So,
So,
11,
like-
11 is the showdown.
So I'm thinking, right, but
Or
10,
10 is the showdown. 10 is
right,
the
because
showdown.
9 is going to be Han. I don't know what he's doing. I'm curious if it's gonna, like, I don't know what other conflict. I assume just the conflict is just Han,
Right.
like just Han being back.
Yeah.
Now the question is, does the movie end with Han being okay?
I hope so.
I hope not. I
you-
hope he
you
ends up
hope
being the
not.
bad guy, right?
Oh,
because here's what my
yeah,
idea is.
yeah.
I want
like
him
that.
to be the bad guy and
Yeah.
be like, you left me, and the woman I love died because of you, and you got your family.
Yeah.
And your best friend got his family, and they got to
I
ride
get
off into the
nothing.
sunset, and I get nothing.
I get
I
nothing.
get fucking nothing.
I don't get my Wonder Woman.
Right, yeah, right. Like, I just literally do these. Just like, I didn't have some magic lasso to save her life at the last
Yeah.
minute. I couldn't rope her in and just make a little fucking nod to it. What's it gonna hurt? Get a little wink and a smile. Like,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm thinking is the last movie is the redemption of Han. And the way that this happens is he and Ryan Reynolds kidnapped Dwayne's daughter.
Ooh.
Like, maybe that's 10, because
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds definitely set himself up to be a villain.
I like that for 10. My thought for 11 is we go all the way back to the beginning and like go real local, go small, like just because
Because Johnny Tran needs to come back.
Johnny Tran needs to come back, but it also needs to like, because that's what you'd expect. You'd expect it to go bigger. You'd expect it to go space or like fly around
Right.
the solar system.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if we tell like, because the first movie, it's all about a broken ass family trying to
See,
figure their
yeah.
shit out. And
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna end up on the moon.
I mean, right.
Because hear me out, right? The lunar rover is still there.
It is.
Right now,
It
it's
is.
still there.
She's
It's sitting
still
up
there.
right the fuck now, right? So
That thing can boogie too, man.
right. That's what I'm saying, right? So you find out Han is into some deep shit, like Charlize Theron definitely got Han like under her wing.
Oh, she has
And
to
was
come back
like-
too. She has to come
totally
back
has.
with her
Yeah,
fucked
Cypher
up
totally has to
dreads.
come back. Right. Yeah. Right. So like she totally has to come back, right?
Oh,
So
and
then she
especially
ends
off
up-
of that movie on Netflix, off of the
Right.
She made them a whole boatload of money. So you need to
Right.
bring her back.
So
Give her
she's
an
gonna
axe.
come back. She's gonna be super badass, right? You're gonna find out she can actually fight. She's been playing it up with the computer shit. Like she's actually a super badass.
Yeah.
You end up with Han racing toward I'm gonna say a nuclear missile silo on the dark side of the moon.
Oh yeah.
And literally Han ends up like there's a low orbit ship that ends up having this like jettison pod that makes its way there. And in the meantime, right, Tej and the lady who I can never remember the name of, who they saved in like Fast 6.
Oh yeah.
And a few others are going to be in mission control
Yeah.
in Houston. So this way, the whole thing will start in Texas.
Yeah.
Like, right. So like it's going to end up where they're in Texas trying to help Vin Diesel chase him, because like Han hits the thing and he has to they end up, there's launch codes or something like that, but then they end up not getting them to happen for some reason. Like they foil them.
Yeah.
And Cypher's like, fine, we go to plan B. And Han, you just see Han walk out in a spacesuit, just like hit the helmet down, snap it into place and go, for my family. And then hops in a fucking like escape pod and then just hits the thing. And like, it's got like, I don't know, Veilside or something like that. Or like the pod's called an RX-7 or something like that. Like it's gotta have some sort of nod to his old school Tokyo roots.
Yeah.
So he goes fucking tearing off toward the moon, right? And come to find out, like this thing's a pod, but it's also a car. So like it's like careening toward everything, and like the sides of the thing break free right as they get into orbit, and like balance rockets pop up, and he rotates like 90 degrees upright, and then a wheel pops up, and like legs spider out, and he's got like a dune buggy, and he's on the fucking moon, and Vin is chasing after him the whole time.
Yeah.
And he pauses a second, and he's like, "How do I do it? I don't know what to do. I'm Groot." And then like. And Tej goes, "Wait, hang on a second. I remember that there was the lunar rover and it's still on the moon. Where you at? Look left." And he looks over and he sees it. And he's like, I got this from my
with
family.
that worm, NASA worm logo, the
Right.
classic, the best one they ever did.
And then he ends up doing like this weird, incredible Hulk jump where like he leaps and then does like this weird run thing and then leaps again. And you see Han tearing off in the distance and he leaps again, sits in the thing. And he's like, I don't know how. Wait, I know how to do it. And then pulls the wires and jump starts the thing on the moon because that's totally how that works.
The rover.
Right, yeah, because sparks can happen with no oxygen, right? So then he jump starts the lunar rover, right? And he goes tearing off in the distance, right? And the way that he catches him is the batteries are starting to die and he doesn't know what to do. And then he remembers that if he arcs the thing, he can solve it. So he pulls out the same wrench that he beat that guy with that he ended up going to Long Pond prison with because he took that with him.
Yeah.
He's going to avenge everything. Instead of using it to beat Han, he uses it to catch him and he arcs the battery terminals over by hitting both of them. And the thing flies forward over a ravine. And all you see is Han driving and Vin just careening over him. So all you see is the shadow coming up over him and then landing right in front of him. And then Vin literally just jumping up and like falling back and hitting him with like an elbow. And then they had this huge fight in space.
Oh, man.
Fuck, I love doing this.
Now, here's the question.
Yeah.
They brought Han back.
Right.
Do they bring Jesse back? Do they bring it old school all the way from the first film?
They almost have to. Like, but I would appreciate if he was like Cypher's mastermind.
Yeah.
Like that would be rad. I'd also be really happy if they brought Vince back.
Oh, yeah, Vince.
Right. Because like what you need is Han getting a crew of people who Vin abandoned. So it's got to be like the kid from Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
It's got to be Jesse. It's got to be Vince. Like it's got to be the people that he like bailed on over the series.
Yeah.
This way they can like the two guys who were in the bank heist and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Like the two of them. Like, Dom's got to fight all of the guys who he has just kind of slowly turned his back on.
Old Drift King, new Drift King.
Right. Oh, yeah.
We got to get Bow Wow in this somehow.
Right. Yeah, totally. Like, we got to get Bow Wow in it. We got to get Johnny Tran in it. Like, we got to just everybody's got to be fucking in this thing. So this way, it's just everybody. We're just like Dom like lands and like Han is hurt and he's like sitting there and you hear Han just laughing. He goes, "You think that's it? You think this is over? You think I don't have anybody?"
Yeah.
And you just hear the two fucking Dominican guys just fucking mouthing off with each other, just jumping their ways to the goddamn thing to hit the button.
Yeah. God, that would be great. Like you get the last you get like an epic race wars. Then you get this epic moon battle.
Oh,
and then you end with them like all shirtless after playing volleyball in the backyard.
Right.
Doing a cookout thing.
Right. And you're totally right. Like you can get Johnny Tran to go in there where Vin goes home.
Yeah.
And then ends up getting caught into the old school shit. And then that's when you find out everything's been played because like Johnny Tran like beats Dom, like outright just beats him.
Yeah.
And like gets done and he takes the slip and he looks at him and he goes, "Han's gonna love this car." And you see Vin go, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And that's how it happens. That's how he finds out. That's the setup, right?
Oh.
Right. And then he just leaves the car and like a fucking like Harrier jump jet like flies down and picks Johnny Tran up and then just disappears.
Yeah. And that's how you kick this off. That's how you kick it off. Like the very first it's that race. It's back on the old home turf.
Yeah, it's Race Wars. Ironically, the worst name race ever.
Yeah, and Vin gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah, right. Because we have to start on a down note. Like he has to start on the back foot where he can't seem to get it. Like he's doing basically the same thing Brian did. Where like he's having dad life, but he's feeling real disconnected from being the old badass that he used to be.
Yeah.
Right. Because so like it's almost and I think that's what it needs to be. It almost needs to be a parallel.
Yeah.
Of like Fast 8, or which one? Fast 7, where like Vin's having the same problems Brian was having of adjusting to regular life.
Mm-hmm.
And then this like figure from the past ends up coming back. and he
This
gets
is so
drugged
good.
back into it, and it's just full on like Godfather 3, just
Yeah.
on the moon and with fist fights.
Yeah, this is so good. It's so good.
By the way,
good.
I don't know if you realize this. I basically just wrote the movie without Statham or Dwayne.
Well, yeah, because 10 takes care of that. They have their big showdown, and then
Right.
and Rock fucks off to do whatever he wants.
Well, no, Rock fucks off to go do the other movies because ultimately what could happen is he hears about this while this is happening. So the next Hobbs and Shaw movie,
Yeah.
or probably at that point the third Hobbs and Shaw movie,
Third Hobbs
would
and Shaw.
end up corresponding with this one, where he and Statham are working to get like the launch codes or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the movie is like you see the two of them like racing toward this thing, and then we never come back to them, and you're like, what the fuck's happening? And then the third Hobbs and Shaw trailer happens, and it drops, and they're literally like, we have to help them save the world. And you're like, oh shit, they're gonna Tarantino this. They're gonna Tarantino this.
Yeah. That's it. That's the way. That's the way it goes.
I'm spent. I don't know about anybody else.
And I'm gonna be real pissed when this is not the movie that we get. But
I've been talking about it forever, that one of these things needs to be on the moon, and everyone I've talked to is like, no, I don't want that. I'm like, fuck
yes,
that.
you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you
There
do.
is a car up there now. It writes itself.
Put a NOS can on the rover. Put a tribal flame on a wheel. You're good to go.
The NOS can, by the way, is how Dom makes it actually to the moon's surface, because the thing is going to run out of juice before it gets there.
Yeah.
And it's gonna break free, and he's gonna full on have to like gravity himself, where he's gonna kick the pod open and then hit the NOS bottle and use it to fly to the surface of the moon. Right.
Yeah. Jesus.
Right, because it'll just be like, I only got one chance at this, and like grabs it and then just wrenches the top off the NOS bottle, and then it just fires, and he does a full-on Wally where he's just like, I am Groot, and then just fucking like hits them.
I love it. Ugh. Goddamn, Brandon.
So
don't get much better than
Universal owns this shit, right? Universal
Yep.
owns it.
Yep.
Okay,
Give us a call.
if you wanna tag Universal in that, all ideas are rights of Brandon Chalmers and Jamie Noguchi. We are fucking do it LLC.
Fucking do it.
If you'd like to discuss any parts of this story, now what I just did is fuck themselves over, and they're just going to steal it and modify it slightly.
Slightly, yeah. But we'll know.
I want everyone
we'll
to
know.
Right?
We'll
yeah.
know.
When
we'll
they end
know.
up on the moon, I am going to flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because by that point, hopefully, we'll be able to go back into movie theaters. I'll be like, I fucking told you. And they're going to be like, please, sir, sit down. I'll be like, bitch, look, here. Stop the movie. Everyone needs to listen to this podcast. And be like, nobody wants to listen to your fucking podcast, white guy. You don't understand. I'm important, and I did this.
What we're going to do when 11 comes out, we are going to buy out that theater. We are going to buy out a showing so you and I can yell at the fucking screen as loud as we motherfucking want to.
God.
I do not care how much it is going to cost.
We need to do that.
I do not care if I have to go in debt to make this happen.
100%.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, Brandon Chalmers,
sir,
where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at @thatguychalmers. And now that I've started a new job, I'm posting weird things. Like today, I was handed a drone and told to quote unquote figure it out. And it's all right. And you can watch me slowly descend into a healthy distrust of architects as a whole. Just as a profession, they misspelled something twice on 9 different documents. like a keystroke, I get it. But like apparently whatever software they're using doesn't have any like spell check, and you must have just copied and pasted this. Right. Yeah. So seam, SEAM is SEEM, and scupper is scupper. So, and I know for most people, they're like, so what? For me, who stares at architectural drawings all day, it's a goddamn thing. So if you are excited about architectural drawing related content, I am your boy.
Nice.
Yeah. Where can they find you, sir?
I'm also on Instagram, Jamie Noguchi on Instagram, Angry Zen Master on Twitter. Jamie Noguchi on Spotify and Apple Music and wherever you ingest tunes. I have a new single out. It's called "Shit Motherfucker Goddamn."
Hell yeah. Yeah, Jamie sent this to me like the early cut of this, and it is a goddamn jam.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I made a lyric video for it on YouTube, so look up "Shit."
So here's what you want to do: you want to make a YouTube playlist of this. Let's see, how long is the song? Minute 40?
Or like 2 or 3 minutes, but yeah,
2 or 3 minutes. Okay,
yeah.
So given our audience, let's conservatively say 5 times, and you want to fuck to that. I mean, hardcore. You want to fuck to that. Because what I want to know is, can you keep it together while you are mid-thrust and you just hear Jamie go, "Shit, motherfucker, goddamn." And
oh, God.
so you did that genuinely and managed to make it through. If you and your significant other just post-coital reflection time with your sweaty faces just want to snap a selfie and just tag it with Jamie and I in it, hashtag "shit motherfucker goddamn," we'll know that you know that we'll know. And if you don't feel comfortable about that, go ahead and send those love letters to info@fuckingdoitcast.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we've saved the Fast and Furious franchise. It's going out with a bang. People are going to want more, which is exactly where you want to leave them. All right, man.
That's the idea.
Peace.
Take it easy, kids. Go vote. God damn, go vote.